हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। तो इस वीडियो में वी आर गोइंग टू डू टू सेक्शंस फ्रॉम ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग चैप्टर. वन इज 92B and the other one is 92A. So 92B talks about international transaction. So when do you say some kind of transaction to be an international transaction? तो ठीक है, उसमें there should be two parties. One should be a resident and the other one should be a non-resident. ठीक है, if I have an enterprise in India, I should have another enterprise outside the country. ठीक है, and that should be an associate enterprise. Like these both should be an associate enterprise, and these both are entering into some kind of transaction, like the buying, selling, leasing, borrowing loans, some kind of transaction these both parties must be doing. ठीक है, in that case you will say that transaction to be an international transaction. Two or more associate enterprise रहना चाहिए, at least one shall be non-resident, मतलब एक resident रहना और एक non-resident रहना, and then they both should be doing some sort of business. If both are non-resident, ठीक है, if both of them are non-resident, if any one party का income is taxable in India, then transfer pricing provisions will be applicable to that. If both of them are non-residents and उनका income भी इंडिया में taxable नहीं हो रहा है, then transfer pricing provisions are not applicable. ठीक है, at least एक non-resident का income should be taxable in India. Okay, so sometimes I enter into a transaction with an unrelated party, not an associate enterprise, but I'm entering into a transaction with unrelated party. Then also it will be treated as transfer pricing, international transaction. That is, it will be deemed to be an international transaction. Let's understand that with an example here. Okay, now A is a person in India and C is a person in US, but he is an unrelated person. Okay, he's not an associate enterprise, but A is having an associate enterprise in US, that is B, because A is holding 26% of the shares. Okay, now A and B, these two are associate enterprises. Okay, but now I'm entering into a transaction with C. C is an unrelated party, but before entering into a transaction between A to C, B and C had a prior agreement. Okay, in case if B and C had a prior agreement, and then the transaction between A to C will be deemed to be an international transaction. Okay, it is as good as A is doing transaction with B. Clear? So prior agreement है कि नहीं, that is what we need to check. If prior agreement है, even though you are entering into transaction with unrelated person, that becomes a international transaction, then transfer pricing provisions will be applicable for that also. ठीक है, now 92A, sorry, it talks about associate enterprise. When do you treat both enterprise to be an associate enterprise? ठीक है, first and foremost बोलता है कि one enterprise should hold at least 26% of shares in A. ठीक है, in this example A is holding 26% shares in B, so they both became associate enterprises. So that is the thing. And then the second one is any person. ठीक है, some person, some random person D is there, he is holding 26% in A and he is also holding 26% shares in B. Now A and B, these two, A and B will become associate enterprise. Any person can hold at least 26% of the shares in either directly or indirectly. Okay, one enterprise, if more than half, if one enterprise is having authority to appoint more than half of the board of directors of the other enterprise, associate enterprise. Chalo, any other person, if any other person is able to appoint same like this. So if D is having power to appoint board of directors in A more than half, and also is having powers to appoint board of directors in B, then A and B are associate enterprise. Simple. Now loan. This is one tricky point. When loan is given by one enterprise, it should, if it is more than 51% of the total assets of the other enterprise, okay, then in that case, no, both of them will become associate enterprises. Now we will see, okay, if book value of the total assets, book value of total assets of A Limited is 10 crores और उसको लोन मिला B Limited से 6 crores, which is more than 50%, sorry, which is more than 51%, equal to 60%, that is. So in that case, no, A and B Limited both will become associate enterprise. I hope you understood this. This is a tricky point. If you remember, this is 51%, not 50, it is 51%, and it is at least 51% of the book value of the total assets. When someone is giving loan, you should see what is the loan value and what are the total book value of the assets of that company who is receiving the loan. Agar loan ka value, if it is more than 51% of the total assets, then both of them are associate enterprises. I hope you understood this. Then one enterprise guarantees at least 10% of the total borrowings of the other enterprise. कोई किसी को guarantee क्यों देता? Now A Limited is there, ठीक है, he gave guarantee to B Limited and B took a loan from some bank, ठीक है, no, sorry, A Limited gave a guarantee to bank at least 10%, ठीक है, bank gave loan to B Limited. Bank gave loan to B Limited, but A Limited gave guarantee to bank, saying at least 10% of the loan amount he has given a guarantee. कोई किसी को गारंटी ऐसे ही नहीं देता until and unless they are associate enterprises. I hope it is clear. So remember the rate 10% here. Here it is 51%. Clear? Okay. The business of one enterprise is wholly dependent on know-how, पेटेंट, कॉपीराइट. मैं उन लोगों का कॉपीराइट यूज़ कर रहा हूँ, मैं उन लोगों का पेटेंट यूज़ कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है. एंड माई बिजनेस इज टोटली डिपेंडेंट ऑन दैट. कोई किसी का पेटेंट यूज़ करने क्यों देता है? until and unless they are associate enterprises, right? And then 90% of my raw materials required, I'm purchasing it from one person. Okay, I'm purchasing whatever raw materials are required for my business from one enterprise. Okay, and that fellow is only the other enterprise is only deciding what should be the sale price. Okay, in that case also both of them will become associate enterprise. Good manufactured by one enterprise are sold to other enterprise and price and other conditions. See, now A Limited is manufacturing some kind of product, they have sold it to B Limited, but B Limited is deciding the prices and the other conditions of the product sold by A Limited. Then in that case A and B Limited, both of them are associate enterprise. One enterprise is controlled by individual and the other enterprise is controlled by the relative. Okay, control either that fellow is itself controlling the other enterprise or his relative is controlling the enterprise. So both of them will become associate enterprise. At least having 10% interest in the other enterprise, being partnership firm or AOP BY, at least अगर उनको 10% का interest है ना, then both of them will become associate enterprise. I hope even all these points are clear. Just remember in the exam hall, no, more than equal to 10% या 51% greater than less than, ये doubts नहीं आना चाहिए, because in this entire section of 92 है, हर एक जगह पे at least 26%. इसका मतलब क्या, even if it is 26%, no, it is valid. Transfer pricing provisions will be applicable. They both will become associate enterprise. If you see the other one, loan at least 51% है ना, this is more than half. Remember that board of directors को more than, not at least, it should be more than half, that it should be more than 50%. ठीक है, and 51% is at least again at least 10% of total borrowings of the other enterprise. Guarantee at least 10% is देना, 90% or more. So it is easy to remember और भूलने का नहीं है एग्जाम हॉल में. Don't get confused. I hope this video is helpful. Please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much guys. See you all in another video. Signing off.